Hi, welcome to this Greg's Bass Shed lesson where I'm going to show you 5 classic madness bass lines. A while back I made a lesson called 5 classic ska bass lines, and until I made it I didn't realise quite how popular ska was with a lot of you. That's my most popular video to date. So that looked at some of the more classic ska, early ska bass lines and songs. In this lesson I'm looking at the bass lines from the band Madness. Madness were one of the main bands in the two-tone ska movement. Now, this was sometimes called the second wave of ska, and it started in the 70s in Coventry in the UK. This two-tone style was a fusion of the more traditional Jamaican type grooves with the kind of grooves that you'd find in punk. One of the ideals behind the two-tone movement was the unification between the black and white artists, and that was reflected in the attire that they used to wear, the black and white kind of suits and shirts. The bass lines of Madness are really fun to play, and some of them still contain that kind of traditional Jamaican ska feel that you find in the early songs of ska. They've got a real feel-good vibe to them, and they're kind of a lot more easygoing than a lot of the ska and punk tunes that are around at the same time. In this lesson I'm going to show you the main riffs or the main sections from each of the 5 Madness bass lines. So I've made up a PDF with standard notation and tab as usual, and you can get that for free by clicking the link in the description. Now I haven't put the whole transcription of each bass line on the PDF, I've just put the main sections so you can use that alongside this lesson. If you haven't subscribed to my channel here on YouTube, make sure you do that now, and also click the notification bell and you'll find out about all my new videos as they're released. The first bass line is from Baggy Trousers, and this bass line really reflects the new kind of style, the second wave style of ska, with its busier lines and its repeated sections. The intro starts on B. We've got B for 2 beats, 1, 2, B flat, A flat, F, and then this second bar is F. Okay, so F, C, 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 F, C. Okay, and then again B, B flat, A flat. Okay, so that's the intro. I'll just play that for you. Okay, and it's obviously a bit faster. Okay, and then we've got the verse. Now, the verse is based on these 4 chords: F, A flat, B flat, and B. And then it's got the little tag B flat, A flat at the end. Okay, and you can see that on the PDF. And it uses a kind of root fifth idea in the bass line like this. And that last bar is the same as the last bar of the intro. So just root fifth. If we'll start on F, first fret of the E string, and then your 5th is the 3rd fret of the A string. So that's this root 5th pattern here. So if you haven't played that before, then that's definitely a pattern you need to know for lots of different bass lines. Okay, so we've got F, C, 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 F, C. Okay, then we move up to A flat and play the same thing. And then we move up to B. Okay, so it's the same pattern, all 3 of those bars, and then B, B flat, A flat. Okay, so the verses. Okay, and a bit slower. 3, 4. Then we've got the chorus, and it uses a kind of 7th pattern in here. We've got B flat, and then A, B flat, A, B flat. So the A there, that's the 7th, the major 7th. So, okay. And then we do the same pattern starting on F, and then B flat again, and then okay, C, 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 G, C, and then again F, B flat, C, and then we've got this bar again, B, B flat, A flat. Okay, now there's something quite interesting there at the end of the chorus. We've got a 2/4 bar. Okay, so if I play the second line of the chorus, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we have this 2/4 bar. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so you just count 2 beats for that and then back into 4 again. Then we carry on with verse 2 and the second chorus. They're the same, but at the end of the second chorus in the last bar, we're stepping up from C to D in the instrumental section. So C, C, C sharp. And then in the instrumental section, we drop the first beat, beat 1, 3, and then 1. So that's a kind of typical reggae ska idea. We've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... So that's D, E, D, B, A, B. Okay, much faster obviously. Okay, so that's the instrumental section. So it's basically just going back from D to E. Okay, if we slowed that down and put a swing in it, it would be a really reggae bass line kind of. So you can really hear where the influences come from. But with the two-tone style, the bass lines just are much faster, really, and they don't really have the swing. They're quite straight. So okay, you've got some of that in the early ska, but you've got a lot more in this kind of two-tone, so it's more punky. For the ending of Baggy Trousers, we use the same chords as in the verse, so F, A flat, B flat, but we've got an octave pattern. Okay, that just repeats round and round and round. So it's just octave. So we're playing first fret of the E string and then third fret of the D string. And again, if octaves are new for you, this is an octave pattern. Very common in a lot of bass lines, especially in something like disco. Okay, so we've got F, A flat, B flat, and then a 2/4 bar, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'll play at full speed. Okay, it just goes round and round and round. Octaves are a lot easier to play with fingers 1 and 4. So if you were playing one finger per fret, you'd end up with your third finger on the octave, but that's much more awkward. So if you want to play kind of really smooth octaves, then use 1 and 4. The next classic Madness bass line is from Our House, and this has got a really distinctive groove and rhythmic pattern. I'll just play you that groove now. So okay, so it's ba 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 da ba 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 da ba 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 da ba 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 da ba. Okay, I'll just play that on C. Okay, and slower. 3, 4. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around the bit of the intro where the bass comes in. So it's just a bar of C, a bar of G, a bar of D, and then on the F. Okay, F, E, D, E. Okay, that's the last bar. Okay, and the rest of it's just on the root notes. Okay, I'll just play it and just kind of try and play it with me to get that groove. 3, 4. And if you're struggling with that groove, I suggest you just play it on the C until you're really comfortable, and then play the rest of the kind of 4-bar loop. Okay, so and before we get that on the intro, it's a sort of It's quite hard to notate that, but is that? Okay, and then when we start the verse, it's the same pattern, the same chords, but we've just got slightly different notes on the fourth bar on the F minor each time. So for the verse, the first F minor is okay instead of okay, and then the second time around it's the same as that. Okay, so I'll just play the verse now. 3, 4. Then we move on to the chorus. Now this has a much simpler groove and it's based on D, A minor, E minor, G. We're just playing the root note, so D, A, E, G. I kind of play it here. So first finger on D, D, A, E, G, D, A, E. And the reason I play it here is we've got this at the end, G, D, E. Okay, so we just hammer on. Okay, it's easier than playing it here. Okay, so G, D, E, G, D. Okay, so that chorus, 3, 4. Okay, then back on the verse 2. Okay, and that's the same. And then we go on to the second chorus. Now, after these 4 bars, it goes down to a different chord progression. We've got B minor, F sharp minor, C sharp minor, E minor. So we've got this. So B, F sharp, C sharp, E. Okay, so that's a similar thing there. We've got E, B, C sharp, E, C sharp. Okay. Okay, it's the same sort of pattern, it just starts on an E. Okay. We then carry on with verse 3, which is the same as verse 1 and 2, but we have this tag on the end, which is so G, F sharp, A, B, G, F sharp, A, B. Okay, so that's the extra section there. So I've put all these sections down on the PDF. You don't play it through as one bass line, just use the different sections to make up the bass line. We've got the verse, the choruses, and then we've got this extra tag. You've now got all the sections that you need for Our House. The bass line does develop slightly in the verse as it carries on, so it uses the same chords. So listen to that and see if you can work out what the bass line's doing there. And as I said, I haven't written just the whole transcription out. I've just put the sections down, so you kind of mix and match these sections. Now if you're kind of struggling to work out what's going on, then it's always really handy, just on a bit of paper you can just write down the format of the whole song, you know, like intro, verse 1, chorus 1, verse 2, chorus 2. Write that down for each song, so you can kind of use the sections I've given you and sort of write your own chart as well. The third classic madness bass line in this lesson is Night Boat to Cairo. This might be one of my favourite madness songs. It's great. It's got a really nice slow groove and then it speeds up and you've got this classic kind of ska walking line. So this is the opening groove, which starts on a C. Okay, so we do this arpeggio pattern on C, C major, C, E, G. Okay, so that's an arpeggio there. Root, third, fifth. Okay, start with your second finger on C. And then D flat, B flat. Okay. And we've got this kind of rhythm. So what I do is I play second finger on C and then I shift down to my little finger on the D flat, because then you can play that B flat there. So okay, then the fun really begins. So we've got C, B flat, C, B flat. So we've got C major with a walking line, so C, E, G, E. Okay, classic bass line here using the C arpeggio. And then for B flat, it's a minor. Okay, so that's still root third, but that's the minor third. So second finger on C, and then first finger on B flat. So we've got B flat, D flat, F, D flat. Okay, so really just get your head around these two different arpeggio shapes, major, minor. Okay, so we've got this walking line here, it's great. So play that with me a little bit slower. 3, 4. And that repeats 3 times in the intro, and then we've got kind of it again, but it's different at the end. And then we've got C, and then we're stepping up here to F, B flat, D, D sharp, E. Okay? That's a chromatic run there. B flat, D, D sharp, E. And then we've got this pattern on arpeggios on F minor. Now the F minor is the minor arpeggio shape, the same we use as B on B flat. We're just starting on F, first finger on the third fret of the D string. So remember that's the minor shape. And then on A flat, minor shape again. Okay, and then F, minor shape. And then D flat, second finger, playing the major shape. You can see why it's really important here just to know the major and the minor shapes. And then again on F minor, A flat minor, F minor, and then we've got E flat, and that E flat is a major shape. E flat, D, and then C major shape. Okay, so when you look at the PDF, whether you're using standard notation or tab, you can see the chords above, and you can see just whether they're major or minor. If they're major, then you start on your second finger and play the major shape, so for C. And if they're minor, you start on the first finger and play the minor shape. Okay, so if you're struggling with that a bit, just play it really slowly and just get to terms with these minor and major arpeggios. Okay, and you can kind of just work through the bass line and see kind of what's happening with these different shapes. Now we get into the verse, it's similar to what we've just played for the intro. It's pretty much the same, but at the end we just step up. C, C sharp, D, D sharp. Okay, and then we have the instrumental. Now the instrumental is a major on F, and then minor on E flat, major on F, minor on E flat. Okay, now this is just, the whole piece is just transposed here from up to F. So we were kind of doing it on C, B flat, but now we're on F, E flat, F, E flat. Okay, and then so that just goes round and round for the instrumental, and then we have that slow riff again that we had on the intro, but this time on F. So you should be able to move that up from C to F. And then we just hold that F down, and then for the ending we just walk again on F, E flat, F, E flat. Just goes round and round. Round and round, and the track fades out. So that's a really interesting bass line. It's a great song. If you don't know, just check it out. It's a really fun song. Madness don't take themselves too seriously, as you can see from their videos. Absolutely hilarious. So yeah, just work through that. There's only kind of a few ideas really you've got to get to grips with there. You've got that slow groove at the beginning that you start on C, and at the end you play on F. And then you've just got these walking lines really that you're doing the major shape and the minor shape. So you can learn a lot from this bass line that you can then take to all your other bass lines in different styles of music. The fourth classic madness bass line is My Girl. Now this is a short and sweet song with a fairly basic bass line, but you really need to be precise. When you have a simple bass line, you really need to be precise with the time. Make sure you just get that spot on. So we start with this, just a slow kind of intro. So start on C sharp, 2, 3, 4, A, F sharp, and then G, B, and that repeats round and round. And now there's a 2/4 bar again. So if I play the intro, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Okay, so the best thing to do when you've got these 2/4 bars, these different kind of time signatures, is just to count through it. Okay, just make sure you count 1, 2, and then back to 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's the intro. We've just got C sharp, A, F sharp, G sharp, B. Okay, and then we've got the verse. Now the verse just goes C sharp minor to A, C sharp minor to F sharp. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so it's just this rhythm, ba ba ch, ba ba ch, ba ba ba, and again ba 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 ba. So C sharp, C sharp, A, C sharp, C sharp, F sharp, F sharp. Okay, so that's the verse, just repeats, and then we've got the chorus just running 8th notes here. E, D sharp, C sharp, F sharp, E, D sharp. Okay, so when you slide up to the F sharp. So these are just kind of 8th notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then we've got this rhythm. Ba 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 bum 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 bum. Okay, so it's just stepping down there. E, D sharp, G, B, A, G sharp, F sharp, E. Okay. Okay, so just a major scale. Okay, so that's just E major scale. Okay, stepping down. E, and then B, and then verse. Okay, so you try that now with the song and the PDF. So that's it. That's just those kind of 3 sections for that. It's nice and short, but again, it's a really nice song. I quite like it, and it's a fun bass line to play. The 5th and last classic madness bass line is again one of my favourites, One Step Beyond. Now I use this bass line a lot because it just changes really obviously from the minor arpeggio shape to the major arpeggio shape. It's got a really great kind of walking line all the way through, and it's quite simple, but you've just got kind of 3 arpeggios that you need to know for this bass line. So the first shape is C minor. Okay, so remember from a couple of bass lines ago, we had these minor and major shapes. So just start on C with your first finger, root, minor third, 5th, minor third, okay? Get that shape and then just move it to F. So that's the second arpeggio is F minor. Okay, root, minor third, 5th, minor third, okay? And then the third arpeggio is G major. So you start with your second finger on G. Okay. So that's just the 3 shapes that you need to know. That's the whole bass line. C minor, F minor, G major. Okay, so just remember to swap what fingers you start on the root note with for each of the 3 arpeggios. So first finger for C minor, first finger for F minor, second finger for G major. Okay, so it starts with just C minor to F minor. And C minor. And then again. And once more. And then G. And then we've got this step down here. Okay, G, F, E flat, D, and then back to C minor again. And when we play the G major shape, we play that there. So root, third, fifth, third, fifth. G, F, E flat, D, C. Now it's a real exercise of just keeping a walking bass line going through the whole song. It does get tiring if you're not kind of used to playing for that long, or with these hand shapes, really stretch out your hand like that. But it's a great exercise. You don't have to do it to full speed if you can't. Just slow the track down, or just play it on your own first of all until you feel comfortable. So again, work through that PDF. It's just pretty obvious. I've got the chords written above, and you've got the tab, and you can just see where the 3 different arpeggios are used. Well, I hope you enjoyed my selection of 5 madness bass lines, and if you're new to two-tone ska, I hope you enjoyed this introduction. It's quite a fun style, and like I said before, Madness are a really kind of fun band. They've got quite British humour. Check their videos out; they're really funny. But they're good bass lines to play. They're interesting bass lines to play. Make sure you get the free PDF by clicking the link in the description, and also subscribe to me if you haven't done so. I'm trying to get to 10,000 subscribers. And you can always leave a comment. Let me know how you got on with the lesson, if you've got any questions, if you enjoyed this introduction to madness, if it's kind of new for you, this style. Just let me know in the comments and I'll reply to all of those comments. And also, if you could like this video, it helps to push it up YouTube so other bass players can see it. If you felt that you got value out of this lesson, then you can buy me a coffee on that link here, or there's a clickable link below in the description. And also head over to my website, gbshed.com. I've got loads more bass resources. I've got details of my books. You can buy this t-shirt there. I've got some different video courses, loads more free bass resources. So that's gbshed.com. This is Greg from Greg's Bass Shed. I hope to see you very soon in the next video.